Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I am doing well. Jared, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's not been a busy day at all. I wish there was more things that were going on the internet.
We're recording this on Tuesday, so it's been a very busy day.
I say that facetiously.
Facetiously.
I said the word correctly.
Good job.
Yeah, we have some things to talk about today. There's been some things going on. It's one of those days where, sometimes you're on the show, you're like, what are we going to talk about? And then today you're like, how are we going to do this under 3 hours? But
yep.
We will. I hope so.
That is
I
one
would
of those
like to go to bed at some point, so I don't want to do this for 3 hours. But
absolutely.
But yeah, no, we are also going to go to Disney tomorrow.
On Wednesday the 26th, because 6/26 is Stitch Day.
And our daughter has become obsessed with Stitch. Even though I don't know,
Obsessed.
has she seen the movie? I think she just likes the character.
She likes the character Stitch, and we've seen him a lot over the years, and so I think she just likes how he's kind of ornery and.
Yeah, I mean he's a cute ornery alien, so
I think he's cute too.
I get it.
So there's a few special things they do for the day. Not a lot, but we're just gonna make it a Stitch Day where we do the Stitch treats and we meet Stitch, and there's a photo pass opportunity in Epcot we're gonna do, and it's the last day they're doing it. So yeah, just a couple of cool things, and we'll ride some rides and stuff. Should be fun.
Indeed, it's just a day trip, so it'll be a busy day. But yes,
that's okay.
That is what we're going to do.
That is.
But yeah, we do have some, like we said, some things to talk about. We have the halfway to the holidays announcement.
Mm-hmm.
So all the
announcements.
Excuse me.
Lots coming.
I implied, but it was all the different announcements. And then we also had, unexpectedly, Genie Plus is going away. And now it's being named Lightning Lane, which we have some thoughts about. But we're going to talk about how that system is going to work and how it'll probably impact your next trip as this takes effect fairly soon. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us over on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't watch us over on YouTube, if you'd rather watch us, episodes of the show, you can do that over at CTM Podcast on YouTube there. And if you're listening on just good old-fashioned audio form, Jamie loves when I say that.
Good old-fashioned.
Just gather around the radio, listening
That's right.
I imagine that's how everybody does that. Nobody's listening in their cars or on their phones.
Get your sarsaparilla.
What's a sarsaparilla?
It's like a drink.
Oh, yeah, get that.
Drink.
And then set on your old-timey radio. And yeah. And don't ask me how you get podcasts on old-time radio, but just do that. And whatever platform you listen on, just, if you'd subscribe and leave us a review, we would greatly appreciate that. And if you want even more content, you can head over to Club 32, which is our private group where we have additional content. We interact a little bit more over there. We have the Club 32 show every Tuesday where we hang out and chat with all the members. And we just had one there where we talked all about this new system and answered any questions that we know and things like that. We also have the Clubhouse show, which is going to be a Club 32 member-based show is starting. We also have Cool Kids Kitchen, where we make a Disney or Universal dish once a month on a live stream. It's always a good time. We have music loops. We have private podcast feed. You get 20% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products, private Facebook group, all sorts of stuff. So you want to go there, you can head over to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options. If you do a yearly option, you get a free trial, and you can even do you get a free T-shirt. And if you want to do a monthly trial, you can do a free trial there if you want to try it out. So either way, you got something there. So if you're curious about there, we'd love to have you. And again, ctmvip.com is where you go for that. So, all right, well, let's get to our first bit of news, which was the halfway to the holidays announcements that were made this week. And there are quite a few, I would say, pretty major announcements.
Well, yeah, I would say so too. The first one being that Disney Jollywood Nights is returning this year. It was new last year, and they brought it back. This is the seasonal event that takes place at Hollywood Studios that celebrates the glitz and glamour of the season, old Hollywood style. There are 13 nights this year. Last year there were 10, so they have increased that number. November 9th, 13th, 16th, 18th, 23rd, 25th, and 30th, and December 2nd, 7th, 11th, 14th, 18th, and 21st. And this is held 7:30 to 12:30 a.m. And tickets are priced starting at $159 per ticket. And as always, annual pass holders, DVC members can get $10 off their ticket. And it goes on sale July 2nd for resort guests and July 10th for everyone else. So what is returning? Well, the Disney Holiday in Hollywood show, the What's This? Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along, the Twilight Soiree at Tip Top Club, Jazzy Holidays at Brown Derby, Jingle Bell Jingle Bam, character greets, treats, and more. Do you want to talk about what's new?
Yeah, so what is new at this is there is a skating spectacular show on Hollywood Boulevard. It is, quote, gather for a dazzling skating spectacular on Hollywood Boulevard, set to your favorite holiday tunes, which hopefully will be based in the 1950s.
Hopefully.
Should be. I don't want to hear any Coolio in this.
Okay.
Because there was Coolio.
For Christmas?
Remember they had a couple of like modern songs like Mariah Carey and stuff?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah. Take in the grace and skill of international champion skaters in an awe-inspiring twist on the traditional ice show with performances at 8:15, 9:15, 10:20, 11:15, and 12:15 a.m.
I want to comment on this. I don't think this is ice skaters.
You think it's rollerbladers?
I think it's regular skaters because it says champion skaters, skating spectacular, and then it's an awe-inspiring twist on the traditional ice show.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if it's. I don't think it's ice.
They
skating.
could put in. It could, but it is Florida. It'd be hard to keep that ice cold.
I'm just saying. I think
I'm
it's
just
just
gonna
roller
say,
skating.
Rollerbladers not as cool.
Regular
if I'm being
skaters, but
honest.
like if they look like they're ice skating, okay, I'll take that.
Are we gonna have a roller skating hockey match breakout?
Yeah.
Flying V's.
I
Remember in
remember
Mighty
that.
Ducks, so they
Yep.
went all through the mall.
Absolutely, I
was
remember
like, I
that.
want to do that. Maybe
Of course,
maybe they'll do that.
Yep.
Yes, they've also increased the number of meet and greets to over 20.
Awesome.
There is a whole merchandise line based on the Ollie the Gingerbread Man. He's the mascot of the event.
Which we didn't see him much
He was
featured last year.
tucked
but
away in a corner when you walked in last year. They didn't really
It
make
was like off to the side.
yeah, they didn't make a big deal
Hi.
about him.
Yeah.
And for those who are first listening, we went to the first night of this last year, so we'll kind of talk about all this once we're done here introducing all the new things.
Yeah.
There's a holiday fiesta in La Calle.
Wow.
I don't know if I said that right.
Mm.
We'll move to the animation courtyard.
This was in, where was that?
It was tucked away back there in
the ABC commissary Lane.
Yeah,
Like right there.
It was just it was
weird.
it was a very odd place.
So this is better. This is better this year.
Jazzy Holidays will now require a reservation. More info is going to come out soon about that. Rise of the Resistance will be a standby only, no virtual queue like last year. And the party was only 4 hours last year. It is now 5 hours this year.
These are all good things to add.
Well, I was going to say, do you, having experienced this last year, and we did not have the best, I would say, remarks about this. It was the first night of it. And we just gave our honest thoughts that I still loved the idea of this, like a 1950s Christmas party, but in execution, this was nowhere near the money last year. Like I felt like it was very underwhelming. It was very obvious that they weren't ready
Right.
for it last year. Now I did hear later parties were better,
Yeah.
that they made some adjustments, and they clearly have made some adjustments here.
Yes. We're not going to comment on what we think it will be because we obviously don't know. But based on the information that we have, it's hopeful. I'm hopeful.
Well, it definitely seems in another, which we will talk about, the changes to the Genie Plus system. It seems that Disney is listening to feedback, which I do appreciate. Now, more character meet and greets is good. It should have always been 5 hours, but going from 4 to 5 hours is a good move. So this is all promising. We will more than likely check it out this year. I don't think we're going to go to opening night again. Opening night is typically kind of chaotic on many fronts for parties and things anyways.
it doesn't feel like a regular party night, mostly because of just the number of bloggers, vloggers, influencers, media, etc. So we'll probably just wait, probably be like the second or third party.
Yeah. So that we'll check it again this year. But I'm curious if it's a better run party.
Yeah.
Now, did they say anything about that robotic camera thing?
They didn't say anything about it yet, but who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
And
that's
then-
it for the Jollywood Nights.
Yes.
But we do have more news here. We have Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party returns. And this is the event that takes place at Magic Kingdom and celebrates the holiday season with shows, parades, treats, greets, and holiday decor. And it's basically a pretty consistent party, all in all, every year. So they're doing 25 nights this year, which are...
November 8th, 11th, 12th, 14th, 15th, 17th, 19th, 21st, 22nd, 24th, 26th, 27th, 29th, December 1st, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, 13th, 15th, 17th, 19th, and 20th. If you are keeping track, that's about every other day-ish or so.
I just want to say good job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. So for
I'm not gonna lie, I saw those numbers and I'm like, I'm not reading those numbers.
okay,
I'm gonna mess that up.
so for like 6 weeks ish, there's a party at least 3 times a week. So Magic Kingdom is really hard to navigate with having closed early, like at 6 o'clock and all that stuff. But anyway, the party lasts 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Tickets start at $169 and they can go all the way up to $219 per person. This is the most expensive it has ever been, and that $219 for one person kind of hurts a bit. Not gonna lie. Goes on sale for resort guests July 2nd and July 10th for everyone else. We did get a glimpse of the merchandise for the party, and it's pretty cute. I mean, we'll see more soon, I'm sure. But nothing new has been announced yet, as far as like nothing new for the party. So as of right now, it seems like it's going to be the same stuff we got last year, minus the special treats and drinks that they offer. So
I don't think that they will change anything. They always see this party's pretty consistent, which is a strength and a weakness against it in some ways. Like the repeatability many times is not there.
I love the fireworks show though.
No, it's a good. That's the thing.
Show.
It's a good party. Now, once you start approaching that $200 per person, is it worth that price? That's a separate conversation.
Not to me.
I tend to agree. I mean, again, I remember paying less than $100 for this party not that long ago. So that's a little bit of a separate conversation. Now, I think compared to Jollywood Nights, and we said this last year, we just told people, do the Christmas party if you want to do a party. Jollywood Nights, at least in our experience, wasn't good. So we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out this year.
You might change your mind. You never know.
It's possible. Jollywood Nights has a lot of potential. I love the idea of it again, but in execution, it just was not good last year. But the Christmas party, they've done this party for a long time, and it's pretty consistent. They know what they're doing with it.
Absolutely.
So that's why I don't think they'll change much, because they've done it.
It
all
is
the time.
fun though, and I love doing it.
Yeah. So, all right. And we also have another event for Christmas happening, which is over at Epcot. So we have the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays, which returns November 29th through to December 30th. September would have been a very long time. This is enjoy festival traditions from around the world with amazing holiday storytellers, delicious dishes, merchandise, entertainment, and more, and each celebrating unique cultural traditions. So they have the Candlelight Processional is a big event here and is held during this time, but they didn't have any information about specific dates or guest speakers for that.
So the celebrity narrators, they'll announce it another time, as well as like dining packages and stuff. But it's a little too early for that. We also have Merry Menagerie at Animal Kingdom coming back. That is the the animal puppet things that are around the Tree of Life. Sunset Seasons Greetings at Hollywood Studios, which is the projection show on Hollywood Tower Hotel. But they didn't call it that. They didn't call it Sunset Seasons Greetings in the article. So I don't know if they're not calling it that anymore. But anyway, that's what it is. The Frozen Holiday Surprise, which is the show that Elsa, Anna, and Olaf do. Is Kristoff in that too?
He's always in it, I think.
Okay. Where she frosts the castle, but it's just projections. No Dream Castle lights this year again.
I hate to break it to you.
They're not coming back, are they?
I told you this 2 years ago.
It's
never coming back.
I can still hope, Jared.
Listen, I think they should, but I don't think they're going to put the manpower in to put all those lights on the castle where they can just project it.
Well, maybe I'll just have to go to Disneyland because they have them there.
For now.
The Christmas tree stroll at Disney Springs. There's Santa Claus meet and greets at a couple places around the resort. There's resort holiday decor such as gingerbread houses and Christmas trees, etc. And there's also a new late fall discount. So starting June 27th, you can save up to 30% on rooms at select Disney resort hotels for stays most nights from November 24th to December 25th, plus other savings for stays most Sunday to Thursday nights between October 6th to November 21st. You can also get a free park hopper option added to your tickets when you upgrade to a Walt Disney Travel Company package that includes a non-discounted 4-day or longer date-based ticket.
Wow.
So you can add a park hopper for free.
That's I mean, them offering this discounts this soon for Christmas time is kind of wild. I don't recall seeing it this soon before, and that's steep.
I don't remember last year. I want to say it was July last year, like a Christmas in July thing. But I'm not surprised if they're having a slow summer, which was, something Iger had said. They're just wanting to start getting the sales in and for future
Which I was
trips.
going to say, we know they even, like you said, they're going to have a slow summer. I'm assuming the bookings for the fall are not looking great either.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And of course, more things will be announced as we get closer to Christmas time. So when those details come out, we will not tell you. We're going to keep it.
Why do you?
We're going to keep it to ourselves.
He's lying.
Listen. No, we'll tell you. I had nothing good. We'll tell you. Fine. I guess that's the point of the show. All right, that's it for all the Christmas announcements. So a lot of Christmas stuff. You can get hyped in June for Christmas.
Hyped in June.
Now, if you can maintain that level of intensity for 6 months, that's good for you.
On you.
Good on you. Someone's like, I'm going to do it. We do have some news about 4th of July festivities that have been announced, though. So
yeah.
there is Disney Celebrates America, a 4th of July concert in the sky. Will go off at Magic Kingdom July 3rd and July 4th at 9:20. And there's also a fireworks display that can be seen over the Seven Seas Lagoon.
Mm-hmm. So if you're staying on one of the, monorail properties, then you have an extra show you can see right there.
It's true.
Which is kind of cool. At Magic Kingdom, too, they're going to have a DJ in front of the Cinderella Castle, and other areas will play music throughout the park, and that is on both days. Epcot will show the Sound of Freedom tag at the end of Luminous on July 4th at 9 p.m. only. So Epcot is only doing the one night on the 4th, not the 3rd and the 4th, like Magic Kingdom does.
Right.
The characters in the Spirit of 76 attire will be out around American Adventure throughout the day, which is kind of fun. Spaceship Earth will be illuminated red, white, and blue at night. And there will be various 4th of July treats that will be available across the resort from about June 30th to July 6th-ish. Depends on where it is, but some really cute stuff this year. We did this. We went to 4th of July. It was July 3rd, actually, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
We just did a day trip. And, again, we just wanted to see the fireworks of Magic Kingdom the day before, because we always do 4th of July with our friends. Like, we do a pool party thing at our neighborhood pool during the day, and then we do fireworks at night. So this was our way of doing 4th of July at Disney this day before.
It was good, yeah.
It was great.
It was warm. It was busy, but it was fun.
It was very warm.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yep, and that's it for the 4th of July. Now, there were some people reporting that there were shows taken away, but I don't know what they were.
They just misprinted what the schedule was and everything, and it's fine.
Yeah, I saw some people saying that they were removing shows, but I don't think that was the case. So
that's not the case at all.
Yeah. So all right, and the last story we have before we talk about the Genie Plus going away, I keep teasing that, is that there are a couple of popular food items that have disappeared from Magic Kingdom. So the Hush Puppies at Columbia Harbor House are gone.
Yep.
I don't understand as to why.
No, I don't know.
Why would you do this?
I don't know.
Are there a shortage of puppies to hush? I don't understand.
Wow.
That sounds bad, doesn't it? Maybe that's
does.
why. And also the Nutella Fresh Fruit Waffle Sandwich and the Sweet and Spicy Chicken Waffle Sandwich is gone too over at
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, now I'm not a big fan of the Nutella stuff, but that was one of the more popular things that they had there.
I'm outraged, and I can't even eat it because it's Nutella or hazelnut, whatever they call it. I can't have it.
I don't.
But I'm outraged.
I don't understand. Now, the one with the Hush Puppies, maybe there's some weird food shortage they have right now or something. I don't know. But this thing with the waffles, they've changed it to where now they're using Mickey waffles.
I think this is to get away from the fact that they had to make two different kind of waffles.
I don't care.
So the fresh fruit waffle and the chicken waffle, they both use a big regular waffle.
It was like a wrap.
Yes, and you just
like
fold it like a taco.
It was like a giant waffle taco.
Yeah.
With a waffy talkie.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't work. It's
a waffy
taco. But.
The new menu has them using Mickey waffles, and they basically use the same stuff. They use the hazelnut spread with the fruit and different combinations with that. And I mean, okay, It's fine, I guess. I mean, I
But
haven't tried it yet.
it's got to be smaller though, doesn't it?
I think it is a little bit smaller, yeah. I don't know. It's whatever.
I don't understand. Like why? Like I don't understand. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know why you would do this. Like,
but
just leave it alone. They did the same thing. They had oh, it makes me mad. They had the chocolate chip cookie sandwich, the ice cream sandwich.
The Big Bopper.
It was fantastic. And they're like, you know what we should do? We should replace this with crappy churro sandwich, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
And they still have left it all. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I'm sorry.
Like, if you have something that sells and people like it, why change it? KFC doesn't change their chicken.
Well, not that you know of.
If they changed their chicken, there would be people rioting.
Probably.
Just
anyway,
make it addition. Make it also. You can get a Mickey waffle version that's cheaper and it's smaller. Like, do that. Don't take away the thing people like. I don't even like this thing, and I'm just like, why would you do this?
Oh, trust me, Disney's gonna hear about it and they're gonna bring it back. You betcha.
I just don't even know. I am curious about the decision making sometimes, and we will talk about this when it comes to Genie Plus. Like, I am very curious as to like, I think most of these decisions are just made in boardrooms.
No. Well, maybe, but I'm telling you, like, the majority of decisions are made just based on money.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm saying
it's
a boardroom.
A cost-cutting
Someone's
thing.
looking. I call it the Moneyball effect. Someone's looking at a spreadsheet and going, "Oh, did you realize it cost us $5.50 for every waffle? Well, if we use this X, Y, and Z, it'll be $3.50." And they go, "Do it." And then it's like, okay, did you stop for 1 second to be like, maybe this is gonna make people mad, and you're not gonna sell any of these things? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know.
Anyways, I have more to say about that when we talk about Genie Plus. But that's it. That's it for the news.
Yeah.
As far as I
That's
know.
it for the news.
But we do have a poll time.
Poll time.
It's poll time. Tell us what you think. Every opinion counts. Come on and link. We're discussing it all. We're taking a stance. Poll time's the segment. Let's give it a chance.
I like when they say poll time is the segment.
It's the segment. It is.
Thanks, AI.
So poll time this week had to do with the holiday announcements. So I basically asked the question, which of these events or things are you looking most forward to and are interested in doing again or for the first time? And I let everybody choose as many as they wanted to. 29% said Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So it's an old classic, right? 21% said the Festival of the Holidays. 18% said the resort decor, like the gingerbread houses and the trees and stuff. 14% said Jollywood Nights. And then it was lower percentage for everything else. So it looks like people are still most excited for the Christmas party.
It all makes sense.
Magic Kingdom at Christmas is my favorite time and place to be. Hollywood Studios, close second. But there's nothing like Main Street with all the decor.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
I like Epcot as well with the festival. But
yeah,
I will say, again, Jollywood Nights has a lot of potential if they're able to actually put together a good party with the theming and stuff. It could. A lot
of potential.
It does have a lot of potential, as Jamie says.
But
But
like I say it.
right now, it's a fledgling rookie who has never made it off the bench.
Fledgling rookie?
It's a guy that was like good, and then they drafted him, and he's just been eating a lot and not really doing his workouts. And you're like, oh, man.
Okay.
He's a bust right now. But maybe he'll pull it together. Maybe he'll get some work ethic. We'll see.
All right. Yeah, that's what the comments basically say. Jollywood, you know, hopefully it's better this year and everything. So that's it for the poll time this week. I will have a new poll next week.
Yes, and if you want to join or be part of the next poll time, you can join the Captain Magic Facebook community. Jamie posts us in there. And also follow us over on Instagram at Captain Magic as she posts us in the stories and tallies up the votes that way. And do that. So either place or both places. Come join us. So, all right. Well, the main topic for today was breaking news as of Tuesday here when we're recording is that Genie Plus is going away. And essentially, we're seeing the return of Fast Pass Plus in paid form with some slight changes. But
it's morphing.
It's morphing.
It's morphing into Fastini.
I don't like that
which
name.
is Fast Pass Plus and Genie morphed together.
Sounds like
Fastini.
That sounds like a pasta dish.
It sounds like a delicious drink, a Fastini. Jared doesn't like it, but that's what I've been calling it.
I do not like it. Anyway, so they're calling this Lightning Lane now.
Well, kind of. It is.
Okay. They're
that's not
calling
what
it
I call it.
Lightning Lane with 2 divisions. We're going to go all through this. I just want to say from the get-go, I will give us credit here. Disney had talked about they're going to make changes to Genie Plus like last year. And I had said at the time, I felt like what they were going to do is basically merge together aspects of FastPass Plus with Genie Plus. And that's basically what they did, with more of it being FastPass Plus. So I'm not surprised to see this. I kind of thought that's what they would do. But we're going to go through all the changes here, and then we'll kind of give our thoughts on it, of course. And there's a lot of questions about this. We had some questions in the Club 32 that gives us an idea of maybe what people are looking at. So we'll break all this down. So again, like we said, Genie Plus is going away. This is all, by the way, starting July 24th is when this starts. So Genie Plus.
You want me to do this part, or are you going?
I'll just read this first part and then
Okay.
you can go. So
All right.
Genie Plus will now be called Lightning Lane Multipass, and individual Lightning Lane is now Lightning Lane Single Pass. I hate the branding still. It's better, I think, than Genie Plus and individual Lightning Lane, but now it's just Lightning Lane and Multipass is essentially the Fast Pass, and then the Single Pass is Lightning Lane. I still don't understand the branding of this, and I think it's confusing, but I digress. So I will just say off the bat, branding still terrible, but that's what it is called now. So
Yes.
let's go through. Jamie's going to walk through the details
I'm gonna
because she
walk through
took
it.
a bunch of notes on this.
I did. Okay, so Genie Plus, parts of it are staying, parts of it are going, but here is what we do like. It says guests with resort reservations, so people staying at Disney-owned hotels, Shades of Green, Swan and Dolphin, Swan Reserve, can make their multi-pass reservations or multi-pass selections up to 7 days in advance for their entire stay, up to 14 days at 7 a.m. on that 7-day advance. This is a huge perk because this is how FastPass Plus was. It was 60 days out, which I think was a little too much. At least that's in my opinion. But this whole system is now 7 days in advance, and you can make up to 3 selections. So going
Per
into
day.
per day. Sorry, yes, per day. So going into your trip, you will have 3 multi-pass selections already done and ready.
Basically 3 Fast Passes.
3
per
fast
day.
passes per day.
That's basically what this is.
Right.
And
All other guests that aren't staying on property basically can plan up to 3 days in advance.
I just want to say right off the bat, I like this, and I think it actually gives perks to staying on property.
Yep.
So I think this is something we've said many times. They need to bring more perks back to staying on property.
Yes.
I think this is a better perk than getting the ability to go to a water park on the first day of the day you check in. Like, I think that's more of a perceived value perk. I think this is an actual perk that people potentially could use if they decide to use this system.
Yes.
So right off the bat, I just want to say I think I'm okay with that, and I like that aspect of it. Now, the only thing I would add to that, I think Disney should take a page out of Universal's book, and I think if you're staying at a deluxe resort, you should get the multi-pass included in your stay.
Or give you more days in advance besides 7. So you have even more.
I think
of a
the better benefit would be, I mean, again, Universal does this, and it's a great perk. You get the Express Pass included. I think if they did this, I think that there's a lot of perceived value there.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I think that would be something. But again, this, at least I do like this aspect of the way that they're.
Oh yeah,
doing
because
this
I guess
new
we should
system.
mention you still have to pay for this. This is
Yes,
not, this is not free.
Yeah, right. I guess that
not
was
free.
a thing. I guess that we should just right off the bat. I would love for the free version of FastPass Plus to come back.
No,
It's never coming back.
No.
A lot of people, I put out a video on YouTube about this, and everyone's like, I want the free version back. I also would like money to fall from trees, but it's not going to happen. They make too much money from this, and it's a giant revenue source for the parks now, and it's just not going to happen. Plus, if you look at every single theme park, they all charge for their cut-the-line systems. So there is norm for this. It's not happening. So when we say FastPass Plus, this is all paid. This is Genie Plus is just turning into this. It's still a paid service that you deal with.
So moving on from that, well, again, we'll go back to all of this later as we conclude everything. But okay, so when making your selections for your multi-pass in advance, you'll be able to choose available times first. So on the day, once one of the selections has been used, after you have made your 3, you're going to the parks, you're using one of your selections, you can make additional selections in the app. So there's no more 120-minute rule you have to wait like you did with Genie Plus and all of that stuff. The single pass will work the same way as it always has, with the added bonus of buying the selection in advance, as the multipass does. And you can buy 2 single pass selections per day. So you can buy like Tron and Cosmic Rewind, but you can only do 2. You can't do like 1 from all 4 parks. They won't let you do that. And by being able to see the times before you buy them, you also, you can select the times and then you purchase them. So you can go into the app, see what times are available in advance. And if you don't like the times, or you don't feel like buying the pass, or it's just not lining up, you don't have to like buy it and then choose like they were with the Genie Plus system, which I think is amazing.
I think it's a much better system. It's almost like a try before you buy.
Which it should have been in the first place, because this was a huge problem.
Agreed. You can actually see what the availability
Yes.
is before you make that and then also this does cut down the amount of people going to guest services after the fact, being like, hey,
Yes.
I bought this and I can't use it. I'd like my money back. So you don't have to deal with that aspect as much, ideally. Now, one thing it does, and people have questions about this, it will lock or will hold your reservations for 5 minutes.
Yes, that's an important thing to remember. So you're not you're going to lose the selections.
Right. So it's almost like if you're shopping a ribbon where it's like sometimes I've seen this where it's like high demand things, and let's say you're able to buy something and they'll say, your cart is valid for 5 minutes. You can make a purchase, and it also adds buying pressure. I mean, I'm sure that's a marketing tactic that they're using for this. So it does hold your selections, but you also have to make a choice within 5 minutes about if you want to do this or not.
Yes.
So that part I do, and again, I like that. There's a lot of things. You're going to see a lot of things about this new system I do like.
Yes.
And I think
That's
Disney's
great.
clearly listening to feedback. So I think, again, that I like the idea that you can see this before you decide, okay, let's do this. Let's pay for this.
Yes. Now, the app will be updated to streamline the process of purchasing and planning. You will also be able to buy both the multi-pass and single pass in the same transaction. So you're not going to have to buy the multi-pass or find times for the multi-pass, buy it, and then go back and do the same thing with single pass. You can do this all at the same time.
That's good.
So less time is spent doing this. One thing to note, and I think this is important because this is different from Genie Plus, but it is what they did for FastPass Plus, is that the parks are tiered. Your selections are tiered. So you can select one attraction from tier 1 and the other 2 from tier 2 in Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. Animal Kingdom is not tiered. So, for example, Magic Kingdom, I don't have the list in front of me exactly, but Big Thunder Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Space Mountain, Jungle Cruise, and Peter Pan's Flight are all tier 1. So you can only pick one attraction of those in advance from that tier, and the rest of the ones that are available for Lightning Lane will be in tier 2, and you can pick 2 from that. So
Yeah.
that is something that they brought back from FastPass Plus. Personally, I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are going to be upset about that, but it levels the playing field. We were just talking about this in Club 32, actually. It levels the playing field from the people that are not familiar with the system with the ones that are, because I think a lot of what was happening with Genie Plus, there were a lot of like locals, there were a lot of people that come like all the time that were just experts at it, that were just getting Lightning Lane after Lightning Lane from the like most popular rides.
Yeah.
And we're leaving the ones that just were not familiar with how this was working with nothing, and they were feeling like they, spent all this money for rides that were just maybe like subpar to them,
Or that you didn't need it for.
or you didn't need it for
Yeah.
it. Yeah, exactly. So I think this levels that playing field, at least in my opinion.
Well, I said all along, the issue that they've had with Genie Plus was that issue right there. The people that didn't come all the time, that were just first-time visitors, or they come infrequently. They didn't understand. It was too much. The learning curve was way too steep, and it required. And we'll go on about some other aspects of this, but it required you to be on your phone constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that knew how to game the system obviously could use it to their advantage. But this definitely levels the playing field. It makes it much more, as I guess you would just call it, theme park normie friendly. It gives you much more chances to get a tier 1. So it is spreading out the ability for you to, and what they're really doing with this, and I think it's a actual smart move from a business standpoint, is they're letting people feel like, oh, I got these reservations. Like you have some tier ones instead of being like, there's no tier ones left or whatever it is. So I understand why they're doing it. Now I know the locals and the people that go all the time that use Genie Plus like this are not going to like this because this new system is not set up for them. But I had said all along, those are the people that Disney makes most of their money and most of their audience are not people that are in the parks like daily or locals. I mean, not that they don't care, but you can't have a system where there's just a small amount of people that know how to game it and they're basically eating up all these popular attractions to
Which
where
I feel like was happening.
I think that was happening a lot. And again, once you figure out the system, yeah, you could game it and you could do a lot of stuff, but it's a paid product here that other people were feeling like they were getting gypped on. So I think this definitely makes it much more even across the board there.
Yeah, so you've made your selections from the tiers and everything in advance. You go the day of to redeem those. Let's say you're in Magic Kingdom. You've got a 9 a.m., an 11 a.m., and a 1 a.m. for 3 different rides. You go at 9 a.m., you redeem that first selection. Let's say it's Peter Pan's Flight. As soon as you scan in, you can get another Lightning Lane from whatever tier.
Yeah.
Not only that, if you're a park hopper, you can also get a Lightning Lane from whatever park is available to you. Park hopping was a question when they released all this information. Park hopping was still a question of like, how is that going to work? So in accordance with that, if you're a park hopper, if you're an annual pass holder, or you have the park hopping option, you still have to make your first 3 advanced selections for the same park. So you all have to be all of Magic Kingdom, all at Epcot, wherever that you have like a reservation for if you have an annual pass holder. But after that, it can be for whatever park. And if you have a base ticket or just one park per day, you can make it for whatever tier in that park. So let's say you have Peter Pan, Haunted Mansion, and Pirates are your first 3. If once you redeem that first selection, you can choose to do Space Mountain, or you can do Tiana's next. Like you can pick from tier 1 as much as you want after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think didn't it used to be with Fast Pass back in the day? You had to wait until you use your first 3 before you could do that.
Yes, you had to use your first 3 with that system, but that is not the case here.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good adjustment.
So you can still do more with this than you could with other.
Now, one thing to keep in mind: you only have 1 Lightning Lane entry per attraction per day, so you can't get another one for the exact same ride.
Correct.
So,
but you can do standby.
You can do standby. Well. Now, admittedly, I have been very critical of Disney on many things when I feel like I'm just honest. I call balls and strikes as I see them. So there's a lot of things I've criticized Disney about. But I think they actually have made some adjustments on this, and some of the recent changes, I think, are actually helping this situation as a whole, which we'll talk about. So while the 1 entry per attraction I know people may not like, I think it does allow people to get more. In terms, again, you're talking about the normie people that don't come all the time. They're able to get more fast passes and feel like, oh, wow, I got to, this makes a lot of sense for me. But the other things they're doing may not make standby as bad either. So that's the other thing to think about it just as well. So,
something to note is that character greetings, I think all of them are now no longer available, or will be no longer available as Lightning Lanes. So
as of now, at least.
Right now, they're in there. But July 24th, it looks like all the meet and greets, Enchanted Tales with Belle, the Festival of Fantasy Parade viewing, and the animation experience at Animal Kingdom are no longer a Lightning Lane. So that's something to keep in mind. So like Mickey and Friends, the one that just opened at Community Core Hall, not going to be in a Lightning Lane, which is interesting. So
I wonder, they may eventually add the meet and greets back in, maybe?
I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe not.
And just FYI, for those with a trip beginning before or after a 7-day window within that July 24th beginning, keep in mind that the system launches on that day. So you won't be able to make pre-selections until that day. So if your trip starts on July 25th, you're only going to have like 1 day in advance to book. If your trip starts on July 26th, you only have 2 days. So the perk doesn't start until then. Now, if you have a trip starting on July 23rd, you're going to have the Genie Plus system that first day. and then you're going to wake up the next day and be able to make advanced reservations for the rest of your trip. And that's going to be weird for you.
I have a feeling that's not going to go off
I
flawlessly.
don't know.
Disney
Yeah.
doesn't have a history of these things going really well in transitions, so we'll see.
Yeah,
But I have a feeling
that's gonna
that
be weird.
day is going to be. I'm
It's
not
gonna
going
be
to be
crazy.
surprised if it doesn't really work too well. But
It's going to be crazy.
We'll see.
Something else that's kind of disappointing, and I wasn't aware of this until just recently today. International guests will not be able to utilize the advanced booking days, and you have to wait until you're actually in the U.S. to be able to book your lightning lanes. This was confirmed by multiple sources, and frankly, it sucks, and I hate it.
Yeah, people we know in Club 32 as well.
I don't think that's okay. I think they need to figure that out.
This is surely this is going to change.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine this is something that, because again, with Fast Pass Plus, you could do this stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's maybe something that once it is online and it does. I don't know. Either way, they have got to make that change, because that seems very odd, to put it that way. I don't imagine the feedback they're going to get if they're going to keep that in place. And I don't know what would limit them and why they would do that.
I don't know. We're talking about our friend Shannon from Club 32. She said that she was able to buy Genie Plus in Canada and was like at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
or before that, or 6:30, whatever it was. And then she made her, Genie Plus reservations like once at 7 a.m. or whatever. So she bought it early in Canada.
Yeah.
But they can't do it here? That doesn't make sense to me.
Surely that's going to change.
I hope so.
That's like the main thing. When I heard about this, I was like, okay, don't like that. But I guess overall we can give our thoughts about what we think about this as a whole.
Yeah.
I look at this in two parts. I think Disney dealing with the DAS system and getting rid of the fraud, and listen, take out your thoughts on DAS. I'm not saying the way Disney's handling it is the best or whatever, but eliminating the fraud in that system and then coming over here and dealing with Genie Plus, now it's becoming Lightning Lane. I think these two things are one move that just split up a little bit, because now, and there were some reports of up to 80, it depends on who you ask. There were many reports out there saying team members or cast members were saying 8 out of every 10 guests using DAS were using it fraudulently. I mean, even if it's 50%, that's a lot to have in your system. So by eliminating that reduces the amount of people, the strain you would have on your Lightning Lane. And we're already seeing, and again, we don't know if this is because of this move. We're already seeing this summer, standby lines and lines in general have been less. Now, the crowds are lower this summer, and Disney has come out and said that. So it's hard to know which one's which.
Yeah.
It may just be a combination of both. But ideally, you would have less people going to Lightning Lane, which would also then make standby lines less. And if this new system works well, ideally you would spread people out a bit more as well throughout the park. So very well, like we were saying, you may only do one, Lightning Lane per attraction, but if the standby lines aren't as bad because they don't have as much DAS fraud, and you have the Lightning Lanes working ideally or better, your standby wait won't be as bad, ideally. So I think that's part of this move here. This is kind of what I thought all along they should have done. And back whenever we heard, it was everybody knew, I shouldn't say everybody, people you talk to knew, like Disney was going to reintroduce Fast Pass once reopening from COVID. It was going to be a paid version. I assumed all along it would be a version much like this. I was like, well, just take the Fast Pass Plus system you have, make it paid, make a couple adjustments, and then everybody knows that system and finding that system. I think most people would have been like, okay, that's fine. I think most people were expecting there was going to become paid. I thought Genie, we've talked about many times, Genie Plus was very hit or miss for a lot of people. We didn't use it a ton.
Yeah.
And it depended on a lot of times how busy the park. If the parks were really busy, it didn't work that well for some people. And that's a problem when you have a system like this. So I like these moves. I think they're pretty good. If I'm being honest, I give them a lot of credit for, I think they're listening to feedback about this, because we heard, again, from travel agent sources, like a lot of the feedback was not good about Genie Plus.
Yeah.
I like the whole idea you can see it before you buy it. I like the idea of being able to, the main thing, honestly, not being in your phone all day from 7 a.m. on, I think is a big thing, because I think people don't want to go on vacation and just be in their phones constantly all day long. People are doing that in their day-to-day life. You'd like to get away from that. So idea you can do these ahead of time is it gives you back that whole thing of like, oh, the trip starts a little bit early. kind of make your selections. But every day you don't have to wake up. Now you still have to do if you want virtual queues and things like that. But you don't have to wake up at 7 a.m. to do your Genie Plus selections and go back to bed or whatever it is. So I think it allows your trip to be a little bit more chill and not so. They're actually, for once, it seems like they're uncomplicating things a bit, which Disney has this bad habit of complicating trips more. And I like the direction it's moving in. Now we'll obviously have to wait and see how it works, but I like it as it looks now. I think it's an improvement.
And on the counter of that, I think it kind of unlevels the playing field in the fact that those with longer trips and those staying on property are now at a way huge advantage versus the ones that aren't. It was even before because everybody got to choose at 7 a.m.
Right.
7 a.m. is when everybody was able to choose their first lightning lane. With this one, if you're not staying on property or you're just a day guest or you're annual pass holder, etc., you're a huge disadvantage of getting the ones that you want. It's just what it is. That's the way it was with FastPass Plus. And honestly, like we said before, it makes the most sense. Like the people that are staying on property are spending the most money with Disney.
Yeah.
So like it just
makes sense.
It just makes sense. As you know, we're APs and we don't always stay on property. So it's a huge disadvantage for us. But at the same time, I mean, how many times have we bought Genie Plus?
I mean, not that
in
often,
like the last couple of years.
honest.
We really don't. So it doesn't affect us as much as the family that comes in for like a week, stay on the property. Like this is great for them. And when we do use it, you know, we probably won't use it unless we're staying on property, to be honest, because there's just not as much advantage. And if we get Genie Plus, we'll want to get the best, you know, possible ones we can.
Yeah, I think limiting you can't reuse it on the same attraction. I think it does limit the ability for them to all be eaten up in a day. So I think that is something that it maybe is a good thing. And maybe they may make adjustments to this as it goes on. I'm sure there's going to be other things that pop up that need to be tweaked. Like again, the international stuff. I think that's got to be fixed. But all in all, as it stands, I think this is a much better system on its face than Genie Plus. Just from there are aspects of Genie Plus you could like you're saying it was more fair in terms of you could get stuff, you know, day of, but the problem too is a lot of your vacation, if whether you want to come back to Disney or anywhere, is how you feel about your trip. And I think the potential of you feeling better about purchasing this, and it's less stress, you feel better at the end of the day. And there's going to be some people that don't like this, you know, because they couldn't game the system like Genie Plus. But on the flip side of that as well, if the standby lines aren't as long, if they have gotten rid of the fraud in DAS system and this new system works very well, I think you potentially could have a pretty functioning system where fast or standby lines aren't terrible, but it's still a convenience and you do save time by doing the lightning lane. I think that's an ideal scenario for Disney, even though like they want you to purchase it, but at the same time, you also don't want your guests who don't purchase it to be miserable and not be able to ride anything either. So you got to have a good balance in there. Also,
one thing that we're losing is the ability to evening stack.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't really do that as well. I mean, you still get the 3 advanced reservations, but you're only going to get those 3 unless you do the single pass, and you could get 2 more, I guess. But there's no like stacking every 2 hours for like the most popular attractions in the evening, like some people would do all the time. That you just can't do that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, levels that playing field in that way. So I don't know. Some people are upset about it. Some people are happy about it. You know, for me personally, I'm not happy with the fact that it's a disadvantage for us, but I'm happier that it's fair to more people, like in general. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I mean, you're not going to make everybody happy.
No.
But I think FastPass Plus as a whole was a much more most people liked it. They knew it. They still know it. I think you should just call it FastPass. My branding standpoint, call it FastPass or FastPass Plus, and then call your Lightning Lane, your single rider thing, call that Lightning Lane. I still think they should just call it FastPass Plus or whatever. But anyways, yeah. I mean, we'll have to wait and see I'm sure we will try this out and see how it works. You know, on a day trip maybe or something and see. But on its face, I think it is an improvement, and I mean, other than just seeing it sounds better. I think potentially it is a system that could work much better for them. And again, they should have just did this from the start.
Yeah.
Which does make me wonder about like the decision making, like how it came to be, like how much was this all?
They're trying. They're just trying
I know,
something new.
I know, but it's
Didn't
just
work as
like instead of
well.
working from the ground up, just like go with what already works. But anyways, this is what we have here. So
Fair enough.
if you're watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments what you think. If you
Yes.
like it, if you don't,
And if you have any questions, hopefully we'll be able to answer them. I mean, obviously we don't know everything, but we are learning and
speak for yourself.
I
know it all.
Okay.
I got it all figured out.
I feel like I know almost like most of it, just from all of the stuff that I looked at today. So hopefully I can help if you have questions. You can always ask in the Facebook group, Capture the Magic Community. You can always DM us on the socials and then Instagram, Cap the Magic over there, Cap the Magic Twitter, Capture the Magic over TikTok. If you have any questions, let us know.
Yes, indeed. So that's going to do it for the show today, though. Like I said, be sure to, like Jamie said, check us on social media, message us or whatever, at Cap the Magic everywhere except for TikTok. We're at Capture the Magic, and we have some more shows on the network. So if you want to check out Universal Studios, we have the CTM Universal show where we talk all about Universal Studios, and we'll have an episode coming out on Monday, probably.
Yeah.
On that, it has been announced. We've got some
Yeah.
go over some Dark Universe details because more things were announced about Epic Universe. And that is on this feed and its own feed as well. If you'd like to separate the parks, Disney and Universal, you can do that. Jamie also has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show, and she had an episode come out on Monday.
I did have one.
You can check it on this feed, and it's a great resource if you want some firsthand info from people who just went on trips.
And then you can see my guests actually have to get up at 7 a.m. every day and make her Genie Plus selections and then go back to sleep for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing she'll be really happy with this new system.
As many people,
So
I
she
think,
can
maybe
sleep in.
for that situation right there. Exactly. Like I want to sleep in on my trip, not get up every single morning. So,
Yep.
yeah, agreed. And I think that is it. That'll do it for the show. So thank you everybody for listening and or watching, and thank you Jamie for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
We will see you in the parks.
bye.